Hello, Targ, our friends. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again, it's time for another Orc Mode workout, and today was Max Effort Benchpress Day. But just a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos every day, please remember to click like down below. Help me keep the likes higher than the dislikes. Reach down there and do it. You guys know you want to. You watch the vlogs. Just please reach down and click like. It's all I ask of you. So, over to Max Effort Benchpress Day. Now, I'm back from a deload. Right, took last week off from training. You know, and a lot of people are like, why don't you film deloads? I have a lot of reasons not to film my deloads. I don't want to get into my personal life. But what do? I do nothing but band work. Okay? That's it. Bands. And I mean a band you can carry. I don't touch a barbell. Don't go anywhere near a barbell. So, not really that exciting. It's like, Jason, we want to watch you do 500 band press downs and rear delt flies with a band. Okay. It's kind of weird. But, you know, the point is, that's what I do. And it fits my lifestyle. But we came in today, and this is what I got on the random number generator. And I've switched over to all close grip, right? Because I've found I'm stronger with close grip. No matter what I do, I am always stronger and faster and more explosive with the close grip. Faster off my chest with the same weight. I can put the same weight on the bar and I'm faster off the bottom. So we're just going to stick with it. Easier on your shoulders anyways. So this all went really well. Like I went to do this, and you guys have to remember this is a 52-pound bar, not a 45, so I had 7 pounds. And that's what TDS advertises it as. It's not hard to find. The TDS bow bar. All right, that 322 was light. I'm like, I could have done reps with that. So I just started ramping, and I'm like, well, let me just see where I get. Let's see where we get. I mean, this is an extra inch range of motion at the bottom. By the way, I already had one clown get banned. He's like, oh, butt off the bench. And like, I just banned you. I was going to be honest with you guys. I ban all criticism now. And I'll explain why later in the video. But I do. And it's nothing to do with my personal feelings. It's business. It is purely about business. That's it. All right. That was a PR right there, by the way. Barely. 342. That's a PR on this bar. And it's technically a PR on my straight bar. Last time I used the straight bar, I hit a 335. That was a PR. I tapped the upright on it, but it felt easy. Let me go 10 more pounds. All right, watch how fast this went up. Right there, I just hit that upright. I tapped that upright. You know, look at how fast that was off the chest. Had I not bled energy tapping that upright, I probably could have made another jump. Now, we say probably, but we're going to mark it for what it is. Because probably doesn't count, does it? You know what counts? What you lift. 352. Close grip. Now, it's with a more difficult barbell, but that doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. One of the things I'm going to do on my max effort days for a bit, and I've already got kind of different exercises planned out. I'm going to come in and ramp to 5 rep maxes for movements that will give me hypertrophy where I need them. So instead of doing close grip press for a bunch of sets across, I'm just going to ramp to a heavy 5. Tomorrow I'm going to do a deficit deadlift for the same thing. Why? These are going to put muscle where I need them. Now, people are going to be like, you're going to do it with squats? Nope. I don't need the quad. I need the posterior chain. And I'll get into that in a bit why too. I already have other quad work planned that I can do with all of my training. I'm not worried about doing any extra quad work at all ever in my main workout. It's not going to be a factor for me. That's not what's going to get me to a 600 squat. So I just ramped up with these, by the way. 225, 245. This is 265. And I went 275. And in all honesty, after hitting a max and getting a PR on a bench first, me to ramp up and do multiple sets up and get 5 for 275 on a close grip, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm happy with it. Very happy with it. All things considered. Now, granted, I came off this deload. I picked up a few pounds of water because, you know, when I vacation, I pick up a little bit of water weight. Didn't eat bad macros or anything. I didn't eat junk food, but I do eat more. And I'm not training. I'm definitely not going to be in a calorie deficit. And I haven't been. So now we're back to a small calorie deficit. We'll run that out till the next deload. But, the other thing, too, people talk about, should I maintain a cut during a deload? No, that's the stupidest thing you could do. Absolutely not. Do not be in a calorie deficit on your deload week. I don't care what anyone tells you. People say, what if I'm being a bodybuilder? I don't market to bodybuilders. I don't coach bodybuilders. I don't prep bodybuilders. So I don't care. I don't care what they do. As a lifter, you do not do that. Okay? We don't do that. So let's come back over to this training. Triceps. It's got to be tricep focused. Now, what I'm doing at this point, I'm doing band press downs every day now again. That's what I'm going to do. Tons of band work on off days. Rear delts, triceps, reverse hypers, abs, grip work. That's what I'm going to do. A lot of that I'm doing in between. I'll probably do some band press downs and rear delt pull aparts, basically, after this. That's where I need to add the meat, right? Those rear delts need that work. That is what's going to get my shoulder health on point now. I don't necessarily need to do a ton of pulling. I'm only going to do back work that's not deadlifting related on my 2 upper body days. I'm going to do a lot of it. It's the rear delts and the rotator cuffs and stuff that are the big deal. I can do tons of pull aparts. I can do tons of press downs for my triceps in addition to doing the extra tricep work. Overhead press, I went really close again today. I've noticed maybe not quite the great mobility I was getting with the wider grip. I can lift more weight. So I'm going to have to think through what I want to do here, because they work the muscles a little bit differently. They do work the muscles a little differently. So it's kind of that trade-off of, am I trying to, move a bunch of weight with it, or am I trying to maybe work muscles slightly differently, get the most out of it? It's going to be tough to say. We get a longer range of motion and more weight with this grip. Still, the mobility isn't 100% for me to really get that good lockout at the top the way I've been getting with the wider grip. So, do we continue to work the rear delts and everything and all that area to build that mobility that we need and do it this way, or do I go with the wider grip? And then the wider grip has its own unique feeling. Again, I'm not sure, but I'm going to have to reduce weight slightly if I go with the wider. And this is 170 for those curious. And I did 3x5. I'm just trying to get as much tension as I can. It's hard to do 5x5 on my heavier days after maxing. I'll try to do 5x5s on it on speed day, because we're only going to do speed bench first. Then we did these laying skull crushers for 4 sets of 6. You guys are going to see a common trend. Everything is very low reps now. Well, not very low, it's medium reps, 5s and 6s. I do a lot of that. Why? Because I get my volume on the other stuff. I get plenty of volume on the reverse hypers for my posterior chain. High reps, especially my restoration days. My triceps and rear delts are going to get lots of high reps. I'm only worried about high reps for muscles that really need the restoration and the work capacity, like my very, very weakest muscles in my body. They can benefit more from the high reps. But they're going to get that in addition to the other training. It's not going to be with the main training. Right? We don't need it. Now I'm just going to focus on tension for a while at appropriate training volumes. We're going to focus on maximizing tension for the rep work. We're going to obviously have max work and speed work as normal. But I'm going to work with slightly lower reps other than the muscles that really need that extra, really high volume. Which is what? Triceps, rear delts, things like hamstrings, lower back, right? Those muscles, they could use the higher reps. They could really benefit. Now we're going to focus on just straight mechanical tension for a while inside of appropriate volumes to stimulate hypertrophy. Because we're still in a good volume range. I mean, you have to remember, we got a training effect from several of those sets of the closed grip. Now the max is definitely, there's a training effect there, that titrating up. Right? I got decent training effect from the others. There is enough there to where we know we'll see some chest growth and everything. But speed work will handle that too, coming in a couple days. Speed work will come in a couple days. But that close grip, those PRs, I felt that in my delts. That was delt and tricep specifically. So that's what we have to keep beating. And again, even those 5 rep sets, those are going to be geared towards movements that are going to help me the most. They're not about back off work. That's why they're going to be a different exercise from the main lift. And I'm going to rotate through movements. I don't care about progressive overload on them. We care about, are we going really heavy for ramping up to a heavy 5 rep set? Maximize tension and inside a training volume that will stimulate growth at the low end of that volume, because we're going to do other supplemental work behind it. But I'm picking movements that are true assistance for my main lifts. In that case, straight up close grip benching. We might do some close grip board pressing. We might do the buffalo bar for close grip work. It's going to be close grip benching there, and it's going to be various deficit deadlifts on the lower day. It's only going to be on the max days. We're going to go for more sets across type stuff on the others, and a little more volume on the speed days. Also, ring pull-ups. I took them out a little wider, and some people are going to say, you're not quite going all the way down. That's right, and I don't care. You know why I don't care? If I want to max out on it and count the range of motion, I'll go to the very bottom for 1 rep. All those chin-ups I did aggravated my shoulders. That caused a lot of the shoulder issues and imbalances and pain that I had, that I've now sorted. I need to be able to do a horizontal and a vertical pull. I need to do both. I'm going to have to be very, very careful with this. Okay, and I'll get really strong at these. But notice I'm using chains, not plates. Why? That bottom is really what aggravates my shoulders, that very bottom of the movement. I'm unloading the weight. So I barely have more than my body weight at the bottom no matter what. That's intentional. We're picking rings specifically because we can get the shoulder angles that have the least chance of impinging the shoulder. Okay. So I want to be able to do pull-ups, but I need to do them in a way that protects my shoulder health. Partially because this can create imbalances, and partially because I've had imbalances I've had to work on and continue to work on. And like I said, rear delts are going to get hammered. I don't even care about side delts anymore. The rear delts will splash over to that. Front delts will splash over to that. Those rear delts really have to keep coming up. And they will. All right, I'm going to focus on them with a lot of pulling. This helps some. Overhead pressing helps a little bit there. And then we're going to do the really wide grip rows. Right? Snatch grip rows. That hammers them. And then I'm going to do band pull aparts pretty much every day. Just like we do band press downs every day. It's going to be, in the range of 20 sets a week for those band pull aparts and the band press downs. That's now a lot of volume. But we're getting a wide variety. We're hitting a couple different rep ranges by doing that. Right? We're getting all this tension from this stuff. But I did a 5x5, and I'll try to continue to get stronger at this. And I don't care that people say, oh, you could go an inch or two lower. It's irrelevant. If I destroy my shoulders doing these, or I inflame my shoulders doing them and can't do them anymore, I won't make any progress on them. Right? To make this stuff work, we have to get the most out of the exercises. We can't let the exercises get the most out of us. And these are all movements just to get me thicker in the right places. Then we do the snatch grip rows, and this works the upper back. This is really hammering the traps, rear delts, rhomboids, all that stuff. It's still working the lats. It's still working the erectors. Just it's a little more focused. And we did a 4x6, so we did a 5x5 on the last one, 4x6 on this. And if we do this twice a week, this is plenty of lat work. I mean, this is 9 sets for lats, and just the whole middle and upper back to some extent, done twice a week. That's a pretty hefty amount of volume. No one's going to claim 18 sets for your lats a week is low volume. And when we keep in mind the amount of deadlift volume and stuff I do, and good mornings, I mean, my God, my back work volume is enormous. So this is plenty. It's twice a week. It's all we need on this then, because it's 18 total sets. So we do a 4x6 on this. And we have to get stronger at these. And I felt my biceps a lot on those pull-ups. I know I need more bicep to get good at them. And they make my biceps grow too. So the solution is we do curls. And again, people will say, well, I thought you were focusing more on triceps. I am. My triceps get 15 to 20 sets of band press downs every week in smaller workouts throughout the week. And then my triceps got a lot of work today anyways, right? Max close grip, ramped up to a 5-rep max close grip with at least 3 challenging sets. I mean, there was work being done on those. Overhead pressing, and then 4x6 on those laying skull crushers. That's a pretty hefty amount of tricep work. And we're going to do the bands every day, which I have been doing actually. I did at least 5 sets a day the last few days. So we're getting all that work. And then we do our easy bar curls. Why easy bar? Easiest on tendons. It's really what it comes down to. And it's at a slight angle, just like my pull-ups. Good carryover, good transfer. I need to get stronger at those pull-ups. And if my biceps are weaker, it's going to be even harder on my shoulders. I think that's a factor. So we finish off with the biceps. You know, we end up doing, I mean, we can count those pull-ups as straight sets for biceps. Anyone who says ring pull-ups are not a direct bicep builder has never looked at research. You could argue that they're even better than curls. You just can't do that many of them. But we're making sure by adding these curls every time that we are getting a lot of volume and tension on the biceps. This is making sure. And notice it's all heavier weight. You know, we're in that 5 to 6. That's okay, because I found my biceps don't really grow that well to the really low rep or low weight, do they? I haven't got the best response from that. Everyone knows it. So let's stick back over with the tension, because I remember historically when I look back at an earlier part of my life, I was doing heavy weight with fairly low volume when I had the biggest biceps I recall ever having, if my memory serves me right, in my youth. So we'll do that. And again, mechanical tension probably help with my 5s and 6s on pull-ups. And if we improve at the pull-up, we improve at everything, right? We need all that pulling to get stronger. Fix the weakest links. Right? Even your supplemental lifts, you can fix the weak links in your supplemental lifts. But we can do that in the main session. And we'll handle more of the triceps and rear delts and everything on the off days. And that is definitely being done, and it will continue to be done. It needs to be done. Along with, again, abs, reverse hypers, GPP. That'll be a whole nother topic coming up. I'm not going to be filming my GPP. It's too much work. Like I'm at too much risk of damaging equipment or having problems with some of the GPP I'll be doing coming up. So it's just not worth it. I can tell you guys what I do, but filming it's going to be a little problematic. It's not necessary. So good workout today. Really happy with the PR. Really happy with that PR. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.